And today, our special guest, we have Heather Strader. And Heather is, oh my God, she's so well versed in Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, you name it, social media. She does all my social media, she does all my branding. Heather could teach 4 weeks in a row and she'd still come up with another 4 weeks. So we're blessed to have her today. She's going to really dive deep into Instagram and everything around social media for Instagram. So Heather, you know, I think the world of you, and thank you so much for being our guest today and enlightening everyone on Instagram and what we can do in our business by using Instagram.
Hi, everybody. EXP agents are my favorite. We're going to go into a little slideshow, and then we'll talk about different points of it and then questions, because everyone always has a lot of questions with social media, and I don't think they always get answered or in a way that you can understand. So Instagram, since it's with Facebook, we're kind of going to go into both areas and then just go a little outside of that also, just so you can get the overall picture of how your brand can look. So I'm going to go into a presentation now, and let me know if you guys can see my screen.
And Heather, I have a question for you. Are you going to be able to let people in as you do this?
I think when I'm not showing slides, I can.
Okay.
So
you want to double check if anyone else needs to come in before you start?
Yeah, let's do that real quick.
Double check. We don't leave anyone hanging.
Yeah.
You guys get your pen and notebook out. I got mine right here.
Yeah, there's no one in the waiting room right now, so I think it'll show up, but if not, I might have to bounce in and out a little bit.
I like the first slide, how to build a following on social media. I need to take notes.
Yes. All right. So social media is definitely a following. Why it matters is because now social media, Facebook, Instagram, that's your resume. No longer are you, giving people your resume. As soon as you make contact, they are going home and doing your Google worthiness. So they're Googling you, they're going onto your Facebook, they're going onto your Instagram, they're seeing who you are, what you're about, what kind of business you run. That's how they check you out. So you have to have a presence somehow, some way, but when they look you up, they need to be able to find you, because they feel like if they can't find you, then you're not able to promote their home, and people aren't going to see their home. So the more eyes you have on yourself, the more eyes they feel like they have on them and their property. So basically, like I said, the social media platform is for reach. There's no limit to how many people you can reach. You can reach your friends, your family, your sphere, but also with Facebook ads or Instagram ads, you can go outside your reach. You can even go to different states. There's a lot of people that like to market themselves and do social media ads and campaigns in other areas like New York or Ohio. They're trying to get, those buyers, the people that are relocating here to the South. So your social media reach has no limit, which is different than traditionally when you were doing print and farming, you were only in your area. Now you can go anywhere, just like, EXP being cloud-based, social media is the same concept, working with anyone, anywhere, anytime. Number one rule with social media is consistency. A lot of people have a problem with consistency. If you're going to do social media, you have to do it. You have to commit to that consistency. You cannot post one time this week, 2 times next week, then take a break and then post next month. It's not going to work. If you're going to do that, then you shouldn't do it at all. You have to be consistent and you have to stick with it. The next thing that I always tell people is pick a platform. It's great to have all the platforms, but if you cannot commit to that, pick one. Pick one platform that you're good at, that you know how to do, and stick to it. Also, with the consistency is creating the posting schedule, picking when you're going to do it. You can even schedule it out. There's lots of services that you can use to schedule your posts so that you do not have to remind yourself or do it every day. And this is kind of what a posting calendar looks like. There's different days of the week. So you can post randomly, which I don't suggest, but a lot of people will. As they see things, they'll post as they go. I like to do a weekly theme schedule. So like Monday, Moment Monday, Transformation Tuesday, Wednesday, you do a blog or something, or a post of like an anniversary of someone closing their home, and it gets people engaged. Area news on Thursday, and then Friday is usually a recap of open houses, listings just sold. The last thing you want to do is fill your feed with homes. They want to look at homes, they're going to go to the different websites, CRM, Zillow, whatever, but they do not want to come to your social media to look or search for a home. So that's very important. And a lot of people make that mistake by just posting house after house after house. No one's going to stay on your page or stay engaged just looking at homes. Relevant content. That's another thing. You can get in trouble for posting the wrong things. You have to be careful what you post, what you comment on. You want to make sure that you're neutral, that you're not doing anything to get yourself in trouble with your company or with clients. You got to be relevant in your market. I say that it's got to be a mix of three things: your personal, business, and area. So you have your personal twist, which might be, your kids starting school. That's a good post that's coming up with personal events. Business would be real estate news, like keeping current matters, articles, market updates, things of that nature. Area information is like happenings around your area. So like when it gets to be the fall, like the 10 best pumpkin patches, or great places to go apple picking, or new donuts restaurants that are opening, things like that, things that add value and that people will keep going to your page because they find it fun, they find it interesting, and they have value. All right, discoverability. That is people that like your page, people that share your posts. This is all important to grow your followers and your clients. You want to share your personal page. You want to do check-ins. You want to do geotagging. You want to make sure your profile is public. Use appropriate location tags. Use appropriate hashtags. You want people to be able to find your content. If you're going to spend the time and the effort to post these things, you want people to be able to find you. The other thing is, finding your ideal audience. What are your interests? Where do you shop? Do you have kids? Just finding that connection, that relevant connection to be able to relate to your audience. That's very important. This part, like just practicing a little thing about yourself. If you can go on a video just for even just a few seconds every now and then, gets great momentum. It helps your SEO, it builds your audience. People love to see where you are, what you're doing. So even if you're not comfortable on the camera, just think about making a little clip every now and then, maybe once a month, or even just going live, because it really will boost your audience and your engagement with your audience. Relatability. A lot of people are going to be realtors that are on your page, which is a good and a bad thing. You want to be relatable to your audience, but you also do not want a page that's full of other realtors, because that's not your audience. So just be selective. who you invite to your page, who you accept friend requests, and kind of curate your own audience, how you want to see that. When we talk about cohesive feed, which is like staying on brand, what you want your social media, your marketing to look like. This is kind of an example of what people do, and it's fine, but it doesn't look great. You know, it's very messy. It's not very a clear brand. You don't really want to stay on this page too long compared to this. This is what a cohesive feed looks like. You know, there's a big difference between this and this. This is what people like to see. This is what they want to see. They want to see a cohesive feed. They want to see your brand. They want to see cool, calming colors. They want it to look organized, and they want it to look professional. Sources for Instagram. A lot of people say, well, where do you get the content? What do I post about? This is easy. This is your pictures of listings, closings, food when you're out to a restaurant. I mean, I take pictures of my food all the time. I don't know about you guys. If you have something fabulous or you're out for drinks and they look really pretty, take a picture, hashtag it, hashtag where you are. It makes you feel genuine to the person, and they get an insight of who you are, and that's where you're relating to your client. Pinterest is another good source of Instagram content. Also, Pinterest is probably the most underutilized tool for social media. I use Pinterest a lot right now for Instagram content and Pinterest for SEO for your website. You can gain thousands of website views in 1 month from Pinterest boards. So if you don't have a Pinterest, I would suggest getting one, and you can make a business Pinterest board so that it all ties into your brand and keeps you cohesive.
And I want to ask anyone in the background, please mute yourself if you're not muted. We hear background noise.
I'm gonna mute them. Hold on 1 second.
Someone's negotiating contract.
Let's see.
Anyone else waiting? Let them in too.
All right, they're muted. Some other things that I want to share with you is when we talk about branding, logos, cohesiveness. There's different logos you can have. You can have your logos for your social media, your logos for your print for farming, your logos for your templates for listing presentation. This is a EXP agent that we did some branding for her recently, and she chose these different types for different types of media so that she has a brand board with colors, and then she can pick and choose which logo or which brand fits what she's doing, whether it's email marketing, print, a social media blast. She has different ones to choose from, which is very nice. You have your own font, you have your own branding colors. So everything, like I showed you before, always looks on brand, and you always look cohesive. If we jump over to a Facebook page, this is another EXP agent, and you have your Facebook cover. Facebook cover needs to be personalized or a video. If you go down, you see what we talked about. Here's local events. That's Charlotte Summer Concert Guide. Then you have over here real estate. This is the mixes we talked about having a mix of content. Here's more happenings. If you go down farther, I think she recently had a closing, but see, her page is not all closings or homes. You know, she's got the mix. So here's her under contract. And she has all the hashtags so everyone can find where she is, what's going on, tips, homeowner ideas, just listed. Everything's cohesive. Everything stays on brand with her logo, her colors, all her graphics are always the same and always branded. This makes a big difference. This is like analytics for 1 week. She reached 530 people this week on her Facebook. Post engagements means that they went to her website or some other social media platform of hers, 199 people. That's huge. That's over 700 people with their eyes on her content in 1 week. That's the most powerful marketing you can do. So just so you can get a feel of that. Facebook's constantly updating how they do things, but if you manage your page, you can manage your events. That's how we do the lunch and learns over here. If you were looking for help, you can manage jobs. Your insight shows you your analytics, so you know how your page is performing. You have your ad center where you can post your ad. All of this is the same on Instagram. But like I said before, just do not be inconsistent. And if you're going to only be able to handle or manage one thing, pick one thing. Pick one thing, be consistent, do it well. The other thing that I would say or suggest is, like Heidi Hines always says, if you can't do something well, then you outsource it. Just like if you're not good at paperwork with the transactions, you get a transaction coordinator. If you're not good at web design, you get a website person. If you're not good at social media, you get a social media person. By doing these things, it frees you up to do the things that you do well and makes you money. A lot of people do not have the time or the energy to devote 20 plus hours to social media. And if they do devote the time, are they doing it effectively? What if you're spending 20 hours on social media, but you're not doing it correctly and it's not doing any good? A good social media campaign should be helping you list homes, sell homes. When you go to listing presentations, give you the leverage to say, I'm a social media specialist, or I have a social media specialist. This is what we're going to do to sell your home. Those things are, going to be where the social media pays out for you. Website views, organic traffic, lead generation. This is all the things that social media can do for you, for your business, if it is done correctly. Does anyone have any questions about branding, marketing, social media?
I do.
Okay.
So, should you have separate business pages and personal pages, or is it everything happening on your personal?
Everything should be happening on your business page. Personal page, you cannot do ads. A personal page, you cannot run analytics and get insights. So I always suggest having a business page. If you want a personal page also, you can, but I would keep the personal page just personal. Business page can be a mix of everything. So I think for just consistency and ease, upgrade those pages to business pages. Just like Pinterest, Instagram, you can upgrade them to a business account.
But can you have to suggest that you have two separate?
I would not suggest two separate. No, business pages are the best way to go.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question, and you may have already covered this. I had to join late. Where are you finding, like for the Instagram and Facebook pages, where are you finding the content? Is there like certain places that you go to find content to put on there? Because that's what I feel like I struggle with. Like I have emails that get sent to me in the mornings where there's like things I can post, but I don't see any of the other good stuff.
Yeah, we did go over it, but I can expand on it.
That's okay.
Instagram is harder just because, you know, it's picture based. Whereas as Facebook, you have more freedom to do these blogs and, you know, big, long explanations or posts. Instagram really needs to be a picture, a graphic, something that's quick and easy unless you're linking to something and you have all your hashtags. So I suggest like reposting things that you like. And I said going into Pinterest and finding great content, great photos. If you're good at Canva, I mean, taking those sorts of things and then taking it to Canva and branding it to yourself for Instagram is very good. Local things like the local Charlotte feeds or other local things that have happenings, those are good to link into Instagram. Basically, whatever you're looking at and that you like on Instagram, you can curate that into your own Instagram feed. But I always like to take it and brand it to yourself and put relevant hashtags for yourself, or to tag other people, or credit to, you know, someone if you are reposting. That's really important to do. You're just listed, you're just sold, you're closed. Making those personal graphics are always good. Market reports, like comparative analysis of market trends, like those graphics, or you know, things that show like the closing process, like checklists, or terms like what is PMI. You know, there's like a graphic. Things like that always makes really good, solid Instagram content. But also don't forget, you can post on Instagram, but then you also have your story. So if you want to go and explain things more or put more content, then you can go up in your story and record a little extra. So you're not limited to just posting that picture. Now you have that capability on Facebook and Instagram to do your story and to have your highlight reels at the top. And those can be customized also with like ask an agent, just listed, mortgage items. I mean, you can have anything that you are interested in up at the top too. So you can get pretty specific now on Instagram, which is really nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Heather, let me review what you went over. And if anyone came on late, they could pop in and ask
Okay.
a question. So Heather jumped on today, expert at Instagram, and her title was How to Build a Follow on Social Media. She said, number one rule is consistency. She said, make sure you pick a platform that you're comfortable with. You know, it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Pick the platform and stick with it. And stick to a schedule. You have a posting schedule, write it out, visualize it. You know, maybe put in your office every day. So remind you, man, I have to stick to this schedule and I got to get it done. Number two, relevant content. Personal, business, and area. Personal, everyone loves stuff about your kids, your pets, your puppy, whatever. Business, market update is always good, just listed, just sold. And then area, what's relevant in your area? New pub that opened, new restaurant, new donut shop. So those are 3 areas: personal, business, and what's going on in your town. Number 3, discoverability. You know, basically people follow you because they like your page, they like what you're posting. Okay, so you have to be discoverable, and utilize any location you're at. If you're, I know Jennifer always did that. I mean, we saw Jennifer in her, you know, garden every other day, right? I kind of look forward to it, actually. And what's your niche, right? Find your audience and grow that audience. Relatability. You have to be able to relate to the people that invite you to your page. So make sure you're posting content that's relatable and will gain some interest, even if it's interesting. I have no desire to do a garden, but Jennifer, you know, I kind of liked watching her garden success. And it grew quick and it grew large. So even though I don't want a garden, I was still relatable to it. Sources of Instagram content, food, listing, friends, whatever, just make it fun. So see, I always take notes, guys. Look at that. I take notes. See that?
You're
So,
a good student, Bill.
yes. Well, you know, I do have 2 master's degrees. I think my parents thought I was going to go to school forever. So I went to school. So that's everything we reviewed. Does anyone else have any questions for Heather?
It can be anything about your website, branding, marketing, email marketing, anything at all.
Heather, you did that good of a job.
I guess I left everyone speechless.
Yeah, I think Heather, it would be great if anyone that's on the call, and maybe Heather, you can post this in Impact Group. You can post example of your posting calendar, so people will kind of see what you're talking about, and I think that will help them be consistent.
Exactly. And if you email me, I put my information in the chat box. I have content calendars that I can share that can help you get started, and it just kind of points you in the right direction. So I'll be happy to share a content calendar with you. If you do want help with your social media marketing or branding, I also put my information in the chat box. I do a lot for EXP agents and other agents all over the world. Not only that, but templates for listing presentations, buyer packs, seller packs, email marketing templates, print, farming, anything to do with social media or marketing, I can help with.
Awesome, awesome. Once again, great job. We really appreciate having you here. Anyone on the call going to Tony Robbins next week? Anyone?
No.
You guys are missing a great event. There's going to be 7,000 agents there.
Wow.
There's going to be, it's a 2-day event. I think there's 5 or 6 realtors speaking every day. And I am happy to announce that I am one of them.
Yay!
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's going to be a fun time. So next week, my point is we're off. So many of us are going to be at Tony Robbins. So enjoy your week off. And the next couple of dates, I think we have something on marketing. And then after that, we have Craig LePage on building your organization. Heather next week will email you guys out the next 2 months of what we have lined up. As always, it's great to see everyone. Heather, great job.
Hi, everyone.
Great job at Instagram, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.